When we talk security in AWS, we really need to start with something that's critically important you understand, and that is that you are engaging with them in what's called a shared responsibility model. You see, what's happening is you're dividing up the security responsibilities with the professionals up at Amazon Web Services. To generalize this, we say that Amazon Web Services is responsible for security of the cloud, and we're responsible for security in the cloud. So they're going to be responsible for securing the hardware, for instance. One of the things that they'll also be responsible for securing is the software that runs on that hardware. So an example of this is when you have an EC2 virtual machine, they need to make sure they put the appropriate software in place so that some other customer's virtual machine on that same piece of hardware can't come in and get access to your virtual machine. They also are responsible for physically securing the data center in an availability zone that stores all your stuff. And they are superb at this, and they're using the latest, greatest technologies to make sure that their security of the cloud is top notch and cutting edge. Great. So we get a benefit right off the bat with Amazon Web Services in the security of these areas. I hate to say it, but they're probably going to be better at securing a data center than we are. They have nearly an unlimited budget for doing so, and they've got incredible expertise at doing so. But notice we're not off the hook. We have to manage security in the cloud. That's our portion of the shared responsibility. So a classic example of this is when we do spin up a virtual machine, an EC2 instance, we're going to be responsible for securing the operating system that we place on that EC2 image. We're going to have to make sure we go in and do updates of that operating system, perhaps to keep it secured, apply the appropriate patches that are needed to keep it secure. And we also have to go in and configure the virtual firewall that is going to dictate security for traffic coming from that virtual machine and traffic going to that virtual machine. We implement virtual firewalls in Amazon Web Services through the configuration of something that is called a security group. A security group is a critical concept for us to master. This is the firewalling that we will do against that operating system, as I mentioned. So these things are our responsibilities, and this is certainly one of the reasons why Amazon Web Services isn't going to put IT engineers out of business with companies. There's still going to be the requirement for internal security experts to take care of security in the cloud with the Amazon Web Service tools. But again, it's going to be our primary responsibility for doing this stuff on this bottom portion of the slide. Now, fortunately, Amazon Web Services provides us really easy to use tools when it comes to our aspects of the security model. For instance, here we are in the EC2 dashboard, and you can see that one of the things I have for resources in EC2 is 2 security groups. And if I click on that link, I can see one of the security groups is the default that Amazon Web Service built for me, but then I created one called SG. I named it that for security group. Aren't I clever? And then MGMT Linux, the management Linux virtual machine that I have, I want to use this security group as its firewall. So that's why I named it that. Notice that I've selected this security group. And if we look down here, we see a very simple interface that shows us an overall description of the security group and then the rules that are acceptable inbound. We can use SSH traffic over TCP protocol port 22 from any IP address into this machine. As far as outbound traffic goes, all outbound traffic is permitted. And we can see that this is a common setting of security groups, that we restrict things inbound, initially permitting nothing at all, and then we punch holes for what we want inbound, and then by default, we permit everything outbound. You'll hear people that are against cloud technologies say that we are giving up security when we move to the cloud. But we know that's not true. As a matter of fact, we are leveraging the security expertise of Amazon Web Services because they are responsible for security of the cloud, and we still get to do our great security in the cloud. I hope you found this nugget informative, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.